students, in this class we are going to discuss the concept of arrays in C programming. What is array? Why we go for array? Array is a sequenced collection of elements can be stored in the same data type. Before the array, we can able to store the element in a single variable. For example, if we want to store two value means we have to use two different variables. For example, a equal to 5, b equal to 10. Like that each and every value can be separately stored by individual variable. Okay. In this array, what is the difference between the array means we can able to store more number of values in the same variable name and also belongs to the same data type. That can be called as array. Let us see now. An array is a fixed size sequenced collection of elements of the same data type. What is fixed size? Fixed size means whenever we can declare the array, that time itself we have to specify the size of an array. So that can be called as the fixed size. For example, if I declare int a equal to 10. This 10 is the fixed size. In this, what is the fixed size specified? In this array, I can able to store 10 elements in a continuous manner. Array indices always start with 0 and also end with the number of elements -1. For example, in this example, I can select the size of the array a of 10. So the first element indices start with 0 and also end with size -1. That is a of 9. So here I can able to store 10 different values belongs to the same data type. Without array means we can able to use 10 different variable to store 10 different value. For example, if I want to store a equal to 1, b equal to 2, c equal to 3, until how many value I need to store, I have to declare that number of variable. But whenever you can go for array, the single variable name is sufficient to store more number of values and also belongs to the same data type. So here I can specify fixed size means whenever the declaration itself we have to mention the size of the array. This size is depends on which kind of program we are going to implement. For that program how many elements are needed. Based on that programming we are selecting, we can specify the size. Here is the example of integer array. The same thing we can are able to specify float array and also character array also possible. Character name of 10. So character name of 10 in this array store the characters of 10 characters in the name of array name. Okay, so fixed size means we can specify the size of the array when the declaration itself how many elements we need, that number of value we need to store, so we can specify the size. And also what is the specified sequenced collection? Sequence means one by one in the correct order. For example, the array indices always start with 0 means first element I can able to store in the first indices a of 0, the second element I can store a of 1, then third element I can store a of 2. In this sequenced manner only I can able to store the array elements. For example, I can select the size of the array a of 10, but I need to store only 3 elements means I can able to store for the starting index itself. For example, a of 0, a of 1, for example, only 3 elements I need to specify. 1, 2, 3 means how it is arranged. A of 0 I can store the element 1, a of 1 I can store 2, a of 2 I can store 3. So whenever I can add more number of elements, the next indices will be occupied by the elements. So this can be specified in the sequenced collection of elements. Then last one, same data type. What is the data type? Data type used to specify the storage size of the variable. Whenever we can go for integer, it allocates 2 bytes, float 4 bytes, character 1 byte. So which kind of array we need to specify, that can be accessed by the name of data type. So here integer means I can allocate for 10 elements, each element need 2 bytes, so totally 20 bytes needed. When I go for float means float 10 elements I need to store means 10 into 4 bytes, it requires 40 bytes. Character name of 10 means character needs 1 byte, so 1 into 10 bytes. So based on the data type, the memory size will be allocated for the variables. Okay, so here an array is a fixed size sequenced collection of elements of the same data type. The next, we can go for the example. What is the example of array? We can specify the list of products in the shop, list of students in the classroom, what is the scores of the students in the classroom. Whenever we go for multiple value we can store, that time we can go for array. Then the types of the array. Array can be specified in three types: one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, multi-dimensional array. So one-dimensional array means the array name contains only single subscript. This can be called as the subscript. The arrays can be specified within the square bracket. There can be only one square subscript we can specify, means that can be called as the one-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array means we can specify two subscript. Two subscript can be allocated. So one for row value, another one for column value. One when we go for writing the programs using matrix concept, that time we can use row value, column value. So that time we can use for two-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array means more than two dimension. We can call as multi-dimensional. So one-dimensional array, it can only one subscript. Two-dimensional array, two subscript. Multi-dimensional array, more than two subscript. So here is the example of types of array. Thank you.